staying with France in the elections, I mean, riots broke out in Paris after the first round when Marine Le Pen's National Rally, or RN party, claimed a historic win in the first round of the parliamentary elections. Her party received 33.1% of the vote, while the centrist bloc of Emmanuel Macron, the French president, won just 20.76%. Le Pen's nearest rival, a left-wing alliance, came in second with 28%. So even if Le Pen's National Rally does not win a majority of seats in the National Assembly, they will exert substantial influence. Amongst other questions is, what will a win by her party mean for a united EU stance on Ukraine? Well, to discuss this question, we're joined by Petras Auštrevičius. He's a former Lithuanian MEP and a regular contributor. Welcome back, sir.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning. I hope I'm getting better at pronouncing your surname.
Definitely so.
Excellent. Good to hear. So I mean, a lot of surprises, right, in the French elections there. And for the first time in a long time in France, we've actually got three groups. We've got the left, we've got the right, and we've got Macron's centre. So, things are less bipolar, if you like. Now, how does this kind of, in your view, play out in the final result, and what impact do we think that's going to have on France's role within the European Union?
Well, in fact, those three camps playing more or less around equal game by numbers and possible influence on future France policies show, in fact, rather deep divisions within the political divisions within the French society. And, well, indeed, the forecast shows that anybody who comes as a winner might be singled out and, have no supermajority to run a country as it needs around 289. So what does it mean for France? In fact, we might predict that tensions between the new government, if it is led by Le Pen party and the presidential palace, Mr. Macron, will remain very tense. And I don't see any, kind of cohabitation going on within the two main institutions. It might be very, very, difficult for President Macron, to see each and every day the government led by Le Pen party. What does it mean for France? Indeed, it might mean, bigger divisions and disagreement on major policy lines, especially what comes to foreign policy. We already heard Le Pen stating that she would not allow to deliver long-range missiles for Ukraine in order to protect Russian territory, which is, sounds a bit scandalous, as well as no French troops, boots on the ground in Ukraine. Indeed, I see certain possibilities to change France's policy towards the European Union. President Macron might be very singled out in this game. I foresee fewer important initiatives from France's side what comes to EU future, which is, by the way, so needed. We all need a very I would say, comprehensive discussion within the European Union about our union's future. So that's why this election might bring unneeded uncertainty, not just for France itself, but for the European Union in general.
Right. Well, this is a matter for some concern, isn't it? We already have Hungary, for example, who has been dragging its feet, when it comes to EU unity, and now, one of the largest countries in the bloc, France, in a similar position, not to mention Slovakia and so on. So yes, a period of great uncertainty. Now, one of the concerns that there has been about Marine Le Pen is her relationship with Putin's Russia. Now, although she's recently distanced herself from that position, some say, well, the leopard never changes its spots. What's your view?
Well, in fact, Marie Le Pen, she was one of the, I would say, few European politicians who met in person with Putin after occupation and annexation of Ukraine's Crimea by the Russian forces. So that's why, knowing that Le Pen party was given credits from Russian-run so-called commercial banks, I think that on the surface it might be, less pro-Putin, pro-Russia, but within its deep ranks, I believe there are politicians on Le Pen's party side which are very pro-Russian. If you ask them, you might hear very surprising statements. So I don't think it's a final change, or it's a change in which we should believe or see something different. Indeed, I don't think Putin will not extend a kind of special congratulations, or even now. I mean, we heard some joyful statements from Kremlin about the first round of French elections. So that's why I believe under the carpet contacts are kept, and that party still has certain links to Kremlin.
Indeed, also of some concern. Now, other parties are rushing to form coalitions with a view to stopping National Rally from gaining a majority in the National Assembly. Not always with a great deal of success. There are many central parties that are unwilling to do this. In fact, some are saying better to have Le Pen than to have the left-wing Mélenchon, for example, in the seats of power. What's going on there?
Well, in fact, we saw, I would say, very welcome move from indeed this National Front and Macron's party side to join ranks and to eliminate any competition in constituencies, and those are around 217. I think this is a big deal of business. We know how sometimes difficult it is to convince single politicians who see themselves as probably potential winners, and to convince and take them out from the run. It's not just business as usual. But nevertheless, it's a good sign. Probably it might lead to some cooperation, or establishing even the national coalition government if they show enough of seats being won by both after the second round. I would wish, they come, although National Front was, critical about Macron on many instances. But nevertheless, I think we see a certain consolidation in this regard. What comes to Mélenchon, I don't think any of those two might be willing, to join ranks and to work together. He's, by the way, as being, I don't know, early or late Trotskyist kind of politician. His power might mean for France even, I would say, more, unpredictability to compare with Le Pen.
Well, I'm sure, like you, will be watching what happens over the next few hours very, very carefully. Thank you very much for coming along and sharing your insights with our audience. Have a good day, sir.
Same to you.
Thank you.